It's not about picking stocks. It's about picking the right portfolio. Let's do what Wall Street also lies about, which is the consumer's in great shape, okay? Consumers that work on Wall Street are in great shape, okay? That's a very narrow definition of the U.S. consumer. You 10%ers, if you have $1 million or $2 million bucks, you're in the top 10%. If you're in the 0.1%, you're a billionaire. They're in phenomenal shape. Right? You see what they're going to pay for this Picasso that's coming off this auction? Yeah. I mean, it's disgusting to say that is the consumer. Well, here's what's really going on with the consumer. The consumer is getting absolutely squeezed by higher interest rates. Okay, so if you look at, let's jump in there on slide 64. Like emphatically reiterating this one, and people are like, oh well, there's a lot of spending on credit cards. No shit. That's because they don't have any money left. They need to use their credit card. Okay, so this is again for people that don't have money. We're talking about for most of you, your interest rate on your credit card. Are you paying that every month and rolling? No, because that's not you. So what I would encourage you to do is be a little bit more like Jonesy and I. So Jonesy works off $100 of trying to feed his daughter now. That's got to end. I'm going to get my wife to call him tonight. But Jonesy, when he grew up in Bassano, Alberta, he was the garbage truck driver. My dad was a firefighter. My mom couldn't work. We had my sister. I'm not going to get into why. That's life, right? People have to use these things to live their life right now. Let's go to the next slide, okay? So consumers, they generally pay down that credit card in the first quarter after the holidays, but why is it that credit cards for the first time in at least a decade, they're not paying it down? Hint, they can't. They don't have any money. Next slide, right? This is not going to change. I mean, this is getting worse, by the way. That's an update that's going to get worse as we go throughout the cycle. So this is credit card, they can't, remember that? Credit card delinquency rates. So this is 18 to 39-year-olds. Look at this. This thing is not about to go down with interest rates going up and oil going up. It's about to go higher, right? So Wall Street doesn't care about these people. Or they'll say they do, and they just didn't know. I had a hockey dad yesterday walking into Chelsea Piers on the way to practice. I'm not going to say his name, but he's watching. He's like, if I showed you the real-time data that we're showing our clients on these credit cards, and starting in June, it really started to get worse, but into July, really, really bad. He said, I'd lose my job if I gave you the data. And I'm like, you don't have to give me the data, because I know that data, if that's what's going to come next, I'm going to be right on these charts going worse. So the consumer is in slowing shape, and in many cases, if you're in the median income, so again, 50% of Americans make $63,000 or less, you're totally screwed right now, right? Totally. Oil just went up 40% since June. And there's a direct correlation, by the way, to what that dad told me on the steps of Chelsea Piers and what's going to happen next. So again, what else we got? Let's go to the next slide. Just keep going. Let's just keep going. Okay? So this is showing you what he was showing me was more on the front end of this, on the data for September. Now what we have is the reported data. This is credit card DQ rates or delinquency rates as of July. So thank you to my man for giving me a little bit of a look on that. And then finally, and it shouldn't be finally because this deck is 188 slides deep, and look at the consumer relative to where we were during the great financial crisis. Oh, Keith, it's not as bad as it. Well, for who? For Dick Fuld? I mean, are you out of your mind? This is consumer foreclosures, bankruptcies, and delinquency. So this continues to accelerate. This is where we were. You go back, this is 2008. What is this? Is this about to go down or up? Right? So this is the problem, Jonesy. There's a rage going on in America. People are enraged about this. And I'm not going to, not on my watch, over the 5 days that those of you are only going to be with us, because maybe you can't afford this. And I understand that too. We're going to work on that, okay? That's why we're doing this for free partly, is that we're not going to stand idle while you are getting pillaged, literally, by both the state and the elites. Slide 69. Now, what if this is 30 million households, all right? SNAP recipients, you know what those are? It's not you, okay? They get Jonesy's level, $95 a month. Try to feed your family to $441 a month, beginning in March.
Oh, I didn't even remember.
That's what they're losing per month. Now, SNAP.2, pandemic electronic benefits, which gave you almost $400 per child in the summer, That's reduced to 120 bucks.
Oh, snap.
So they're on the Jonesy budget now. This isn't a choice, Jonesy. This is all they get.
Yep.
That's brutal.
That's tough.
That's awful. Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.